What's up, guys? Welcome back to Static Works. Today, Bruce and I are going to be doing a top 5 things we hate about our E46s. I am going to be doing mine first. We're going to be driving around pretty much talking to you guys about 5 things we hate. And then he's going to drive his car and do the same thing. Pretty much just give you two perspectives. One from a modded E46 and then one from a stock E46. The first thing that I hate about my BMW, and I'm pretty sure every BMW owner is gonna agree with me, is that these cars really like to leak oil. I know a lot of cars other than BMWs have problems with all just gaskets, rubber gaskets that pretty much fail because they get hard due to heat, but for some reason BMWs obviously have more problems than others, as you guys already know. So the common problems for the E46s when it comes to oil leaks would be a valve cover gasket. The oil filter housing does leak. The oil filter is on the top for BMWs. Not all BMWs are like that, but for the inlines, I believe they're all on the top. And then another part where it leaks is the oil pan gasket. That definitely does leak, and that is the priciest. Going back to the valve cover gasket, the valve cover gasket is gonna cost around $20 for just the part, and then labor is it's not that bad, but of course mechanics are going to charge you more, so it's going to be about $200. Same thing with the oil filter housing. You have to drop the alternator, take it out, and then that's where you get to it. And then the oil pan is going to be close to $1,000, just because you do have to drop the subframe and then hoist the motor and lift it. So those are going to be, I mean, pretty pricey repairs, especially since pretty much every BMW has to get it done. I did all of those. I didn't do the oil pan or the oil filter housing, but I did do the valve cover gasket, and I did do it for Bruce's car. But we're also going to be doing the oil filter housing for Bruce's car too, and give you guys a DIY on how to do that, since it is really common. Second thing on the list is going to have to be these damn window regulators on the BMWs. And I don't even want to get started on it, but my passenger side is failing. And it kind of sounds like something like a rock is stuck inside. So you kind of hear like cracking. And Bruce's, he'll probably tell you the same thing. His both sides are pretty much gone to shit, so he has to replace those too. We'll probably do a DIY on that, try to do it ourselves, but for me, just because it's my passenger, I don't really care. I just rolled with this one and then the rear door, because my car's 4 doors. According to Bruce, the regulators themselves are
the problem.
And then how much do they charge?
eBay, you can get them for like 20 bucks.
So it's gonna be like 20 bucks on eBay, but if you want to go OEM, better quality, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. Number 3 on the list is going to have to be tunability. And I did say it on my G35 top 5 things, and these motors NA don't make a lot of power, and that's pretty much goes for a lot of NA motors except like LS's and shit like that. But with these, they're already fine-tuned from the factory, so even if I did go full bolt-on, because I have an intake, but if I went, you know, big bore throttle body headers, I'd probably only gain about 30 wheel, which is a good gain, but compared to obviously turbo cars, you crank up the PSI and you advance the timing and you gain so much more power, especially going on an E85. So with these cars, you're just not going to gain the same amount of power that you would normally gain on a turbo car. So if you're going to get this car to be really fast, I'd recommend saving up for an M3. Even those, it's hard to push 300 wheel. I go on the forums to see how much they push, and a lot of people are struggling. Obviously you can achieve it, but everyone just goes centrifugal superchargers. So if you're gonna get this car to make power, you're probably gonna have to spend like $5,000 for a supercharger that Active Auto Works or other companies sell. Gotta give them a full dog. Let's get on to the 4th thing. It's going to have to be the transmission. Don't get me wrong, these transmissions do take a lot of abuse, especially when you're shifting aggressively, but they do have really long throws, and you can obviously fix that with the short shifter. but I know you guys are gonna say that I have a long ass dildo looking shift knob, so of course it's gonna be long. But even with the standard stock shift knob, it is really long and there is a lot of play. I am gonna be upgrading my bushings and a bunch of other stuff when I do my clutch pretty soon. And also when it comes to the transmission, it is pretty notchy and rough, and it's been like that since I got the car. And I thought it was just gonna be an isolated issue and maybe my synchros are going out, but when driving Bruce's E46, it is notchy as well. So I guess it's just a transmission E46 thing, and I looked on the forums, they all have notchy transmissions, but obviously with a weighted shifter like mine, it is easier to get into the gears. But hopefully once, like I said, I do the clutch, I am going to be doing the fluid, even though I just did it. I just want to pretty much do a whole refresh. I am getting new transmission mounts, bushings. I have the E60 short shifter, which pretty much just plugs and plays with this one. So after that, I hope it'll be a lot better, but that's gonna be my number 4. The 5th thing on my list is going to have to be part of the exterior, and it's going to be the side mirrors. I love the design of the E46, I always have, and even the interior I really like, just because it's all black and silver, and that's pretty much what I was trying to go for the G35. I was planning on wrapping it black, but now that we have this thing, the side mirrors I personally don't like, just because they are a square design, and the E46 M3s do have a round design, and I am trying to find some cheaper ones on eBay so I can try to DIY retrofit them into this car. But I really don't like the square design. It makes them look kind of weird, and I honestly don't even think they're aerodynamic. That's gonna be it for my E46 top 5 things. I know it's really not that big of a deal when it comes to all of these problems, but like I said, I love the car, so I really don't have much to complain about. I know a lot of you guys were talking shit to Martin for his review because they're all little things, and for the 350Z that Flowers did. So like I said, don't get me wrong, I love everything about the car. But now we're gonna be moving on to Bruce and seeing his top 5s.
Oh,
What's up, Bruce?
what's up, dude? We magically appeared in a different car. We're in my car now, and I'm going to do my version of a top 5 things that I hate about my E46 stock edition. The first thing is, and this isn't an order of like how much I hate it, it's just random order, is the wood grain. So me personally, I feel that the wood grain in my car is a little too stylish, I guess you could say. Like, it's, I don't know, I feel like it's for like somebody older driving the car.
Like a Buick?
Yeah, I like, personally I like something like what Danny has, just the silver, like very modern look to the car.
Ooh. That goes on to our second thing.
That goes on to the second thing that I hate, is the power of E46s in general, excluding the M3s, of course, because M3s are
The best ever.
Are the GOAT. The power in, you know, all the 3 series of E46s, they don't put out a lot, especially like Danny said with tuning. Like, even if you tune the car, you're not gonna get a lot of power out of it. And I just feel like, you know, BMW should have, you know, put a little more into it to try and make it a better car, even though they did make the M3. Based on what I've said, my car only pushes about 180 to the crank, and it's only a 2.5 liter. Compared to a Honda S2000, which is a smaller engine, and they're pushing about 230 to the crank. So I feel like BMW should have done a little bit better to try and give this car a little more horsepower.
VTEC, yo.
The 4th thing on my list is on the outside of the car, and it's the bumper. For some reason, I think that my bumper looks weird. I don't know why. There's like weird fins on it, and the fog lights are just in a weird place, and in my opinion, I just feel like it doesn't really fit the car. The 5th thing on my list is the coolant system, and the guy before me already had the whole system done, but I still have a light that will come on, and I believe it could be a faulty sensor, but we still haven't checked it out yet. And Danny replaced his whole cooling system already, so I would assume that it's a common problem on E46s, and that's why a lot of people have to replace them.
It is a common problem. Everyone on the E46 forums complains about how horrible the cooling system on our cars is, especially the water pump. Shout out to all the water pumps that are failing on us. This is gonna be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It is just a little take on our end, just because we both have E46s, and I think that's a great opportunity for us to make this video. If you guys want a top 5 things that we love, comment down below. And also, shout out to Bruce, because it is his first type of video of just talking, you know, on the camera by himself. And if he did stutter or sound a little weird, it's just because it is his first time, so he is still learning, you know. And when recording, it is hard to just say things even though you know what to say, and it's just because it kind of feels like you're putting pressure on yourself. But on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you guys on the next one.